Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode is a pre-fight for UFC 249. Obviously, a very stacked card and a very meaningful card given the world we're in right now. And I just, most importantly, I just want to start off with get well soon, Jacare Souza. I hope he gets that. He will test negative sometime soon for the coronavirus and be able to get his career back on track. And I hope Araya Hall gets another fight lined up soon. Anyways, so this is a pre-fight rundown of the main card with predictions as always, and let's get started. So to kick off the main card in the heavyweight division, we have Greg Hardy versus Yorgan De Castro, and I'm going to go with Yorgan De Castro on this one. He looked very impressive on Contender Series, so did Greg Hardy, but I think Yorgan De Castro is the more seasoned fighter, and he's fought Justin Tafa and made it look easy, and I just feel like he's undefeated as a pro, and Greg Hardy, I feel like Greg Hardy can beat guys that are maybe outside the top 15 of the heavyweight rankings in the UFC, but when you get a guy like Yorgan De Castro, who I could easily see in the top 15 of the UFC heavyweight rankings, if not already, depending on what rankings you look at. Anyways, so I'm going to go with Yorgan De Castro by, I'll say by decision on here. I think he outpoints Greg Hardy and avoids the heavy shots of Greg Hardy en route to a decision victory with leg kicks, and just wears out Greg Hardy. Then in a catchweight bout at 150.5, Jeremy Stephens missed weight, so this is a catchweight bout. We have Jeremy Stephens versus Calvin Kattar, and I'm going to go with Calvin on this one. I think he wins by decision. I think he avoids the heavy shots of Jeremy Stephens, makes it a boxing match, and works some good technical striking, and outlands Jeremy Stephens on the boxing, essentially. I think there'll be some kicks thrown, but I see this as primarily a boxing match, and Calvin Kattar winning on the exchanges each round, unanimous decision, 30-27. Then in the heavyweight division, we have Francis Ngannou versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik, and I got to go with Francis Ngannou on this one. I think Francis Ngannou is on a tear right now. He looked good against Junior Dos Santos, and Jairzinho, I feel like, not to take anything away from his talent, but I do feel like he did get a bit lucky against Alistair Overeem versus Francis Ngannou when he fought Alistair Overeem. That wasn't luck. I mean, he took him out quick and easy and fast, and Jairzinho essentially just he was at the end of his wits and needed to go for broke, and that got him the win against Overeem. But Overeem would have won very big time against Jairzinho. So I think Francis Ngannou gets a big win here and then gets his title shot shortly thereafter. At this point, if he wins this fight, you can't really deny him a title shot. I say either give him the winner of Stipe versus Cormier if that happens, or an interim title shot against whoever. Then in the bantamweight division, we have Henry Cejudo defending his UFC bantamweight title against returning Dominic Cruz. I'm going to go with Dominic Cruz on this one. I think Dominic Cruz outpoints Henry Cejudo and wins by decision. I think Dominic Cruz is robbed in the Cody Garbrandt fight. If you look at fight metric stats, Dominic Cruz clearly outlanded Cody Garbrandt all 5 rounds decisively. I shouldn't say decisively, but if you look at the stats, I mean, he outlanded him each and every round. So I think Dominic Cruz is in top shape right now. He hasn't let himself get out of shape. And I think Henry Cejudo is talented and will be a tough opponent for Dominic Cruz. And Henry Cejudo is a true champion. But I think Dominic Cruz will bring his A game and get it done, and his takedown defense will hold up against Cejudo if Cejudo shoots for some takedowns, especially in the first 2-3 rounds. Cruz's takedown defense will be there, and Cruz will have to worry about the takedowns in rounds 4 and 5. But I can see Cruz ultimately getting the bigger, better shots and winning by decision on here. Then I have then in the main event in the lightweight division, we have Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje for the UFC interim lightweight champ. Essentially, Tony Ferguson chasing his second interim lightweight title belt, and Justin chasing his first. And I'm going to go with Tony Ferguson by second round knockout here. I think Justin eats a few big shots in the first round and then gets finished in the second. I think the takedown defense for Tony will be there in the first round for sure. And then if Tony gets taken down in the second, he'll pop up and have enough energy to finish off Justin. I can see Justin getting desperate for some takedowns later in the fight as the fight goes on, as Tony keeps peppering him with shots in the boxing. And so I got Tony Ferguson winning by second round TKO. There you have it. There's my predictions for UFC 249. And again, get well soon, Jacare Souza. Honorable mention on the prelims, we have Anthony Pettis, Donald Cerrone, Sam Alvey, Ryan Spann, Carlos Esparza, Michelle Waterson. So this card's stacked from top to bottom. Don't miss it. And again, as always, stay tuned for my post-fight show in the coming days. And until then, see ya.